There are times when interviewers cross the line, leaving celebrities with no choice but to fire back. It's no secret that Jonah Hill has struggled with body image throughout his Hollywood career, but while doing press in France, an interviewer ridiculed him so badly on live TV that it caused him to cancel all remaining promotion and interviews.
En fait, ce serait qu'on se retrouve tous les deux dans une chambre d'hôtel le soir. On discute, voilà, vous me faites rire, vous me faites beaucoup rire. Et là, d'un coup, vous ramenez vos potes DiCaprio et Brad Pitt et vous partez.
D'être venu. Je suis vraiment pas venu pour rien d'être ridicule.
The interviewer did issue an apology on camera, claiming she thought she was just joking with a friend. However, the damage was already done, and Hill didn't even attend the Deauville Film Festival in France where the movie was screened. While Samuel L. Jackson was doing press for his upcoming movie Django Unchained, the interviewer also attempted to stir the conversation to a more political subject, which didn't sit very well with Jackson since the movie's set in the South in the 1800s and reflects contextual authenticity.
There's been a lot of controversy surrounding the usage of the N-word in this movie, and
no, nobody, none. The word would be.
Oh, I don't want to say it.
Why not?
I don't like to say it.
Have you ever said it?
No, sir.
Try it.
I don't like to say it.
Try it.
Really? Seriously?
We're not gonna have this conversation unless you say it. You want to move on to another question?
Okay. Awesome. Sorry, guys. It was a good question.
No, it wasn't.
It was a great question.
It wasn't a great question if you can't say the word.
During a press tour for his book, Mike Tyson was discussing a recent meeting with the mayor when an interviewer abruptly asked if being seen with a convicted rapist would damage the mayor's reputation.
Now, some of your critics would say, there's a race for mayor. We know you're a convicted rapist. This could hurt his campaign. How would you respond to that?
Hey, I don't know who said that. You're the only one I heard say that. You know what I mean? And I don't have no comment to that, because it's negative and you're being negative. And I met the mayor, right, and nothing they can do about it.
We actually had a really good time.
Tyson's promoter tried to steer the conversation to a friendlier place, but Mike was visibly angered. The only person probably more scared than the reporter was the station security.
His life, highs and lows.
It's so interesting because you come across like a nice guy, but you're really a piece of shit.
Hey,
with that comment.
Come on.
No, that was a piece of shit. That was a piece of shit.
We're doing live TV.
Man, I don't care. What are you gonna do about it?
All right, you got a show that you're doing tonight. We are. A lot of people. We are.
Back in 2008, there were some rumors circulating about Mariah Carey possibly being pregnant. Despite her attempts to hide it, Ellen managed to out her pregnancy by offering her alcohol, knowing a pregnant person can't drink it.
You're pregnant!
Despite the clever move by Ellen, Mariah mentioned years later that she was uncomfortable by the move, since she wanted to announce it on her own terms. Back in 2009, false rumors about Lady Gaga being a hermaphrodite started spreading online and in tabloids. Gaga and her team decided to ignore these rumors, believing her private parts were nobody's business. However, during an interview with CNN, she was taken aback when an interviewer asked her about it.
Rumors, for example, about you being a hermaphrodite. How do you feel about that when you read that?
I'm not even going to answer that question. You can ask me about scrutiny. I just would prefer that.
During an interview with Don Lemon, Morgan Freeman was there to discuss his new science documentary series. However, when asked about race and wealth inequality, he had made it clear he didn't come on air to talk sensitive issues.
Do you think that race plays a part in wealth distribution, or either a mindset that you can't or
Today?
cannot? Yeah.
No.
You don't?
No, I don't.
I said, and it's probably get me in trouble, but I said to some of my colleagues recently, so I know that it's an issue, but it seems like every single day on television I'm talking about race, and it's because of the news cycle, it's in the news, but sometimes I get so tired of talking about it, I want to just go, this is over, can we move on?
And if you talk about it, it exists.
Right.
Yeah. It's not like it exists and we refuse to talk about it, but making it a bigger issue than it needs to be is the problem we have.
Kate Blanchett was not a fan of the camera panning from the bottom to the top of the dress. I just like gear. You do that to the guys. Look, and she's not the only celebrity who didn't appreciate the interviewer showing her figure, with an interviewer making an inappropriate comment about Taylor Swift's plans for the Grammys night.
I just wanted to show the legs, because as I was telling you ahead of time, you're going to walk home with more than maybe just a trophy tonight. I think lots of men.
I'm not going to walk home with any men tonight. I'm going to...
Sandra Bullock had a horrible time at the Today Show when the back then host Matt Lauer opened the interview very inappropriately.
The major thing that's changed since you were here last?
Yes.
I have now seen you naked.
And I'm so sorry about that.
I have seen you naked.
Were you able to sleep afterwards?
Why
are you looking down?
It's now my screensaver.
He kept pushing the boundaries during an interview, making it very surprising that the network decided to air the show.
Did I mention you have a scene in this movie?
Pretty much from the time you opened your mouth. Yeah.
Sandra Bullock, come back more often.
No, not after this interview.
Years later, Matt Lauer was fired by NBC after they received a complaint about inappropriate sexual remarks in the workplace. Okay, not sure why Anne Hathaway flipped here, but maybe she thought the interviewer is prying too much about private conversations.
Has ever spoken about the movie? Yes.
And when has she shared?
Why would I tell you? Because I'm a fan and I need to know. Because I know, but you weren't there.
After Katie Holmes and Tom Cruise went through a divorce, she decided to stay away from public romances. So when Jamie Foxx was asked about rumors of him dating Katie, he walked out of the interview out of respect for her.
And I know you prepared because I saw pictures. Did you and Katie Holmes play basketball for Valentine's Day? Like some real loving basketball game? Uh-oh. Are we losing?
No one wants to discuss their intimate life with their parents in the room. So when Graham Norton brought up a backstage conversation about Cara Delevingne's private life in front of an audience, she was visibly uncomfortable.
And we were talking backstage.
I'm embarrassed right now.
No, we're talking backstage. The thing about having sex on a plane. You were doing it, and then a man was
My
watching
father
you.
is here, by the way. Sorry, Dad.
You were having sex on a plane, and someone was watching you.
Yeah.
The pilot.
No.
Thankfully, two of the other guests managed to save her from the awkward moment by taking the attention off her.
It was both of us.
Angelina Jolie's had a long career in Hollywood and is one of the most influential actresses in history. But years ago, she faced some controversy for being too close with his brother, which resulted in some late-night shows making fun of them. So when Angelina Jolie went on The Tonight Show with Jay Leno, she brought a list of disrespectful jokes he made towards them.
And read these things that you've said.
I've said those things?
Yeah.
Let me see, what's a good one here?
I highlighted the two that she really appreciated and made her sick.
You know how Billy Bob knew Angelina was attracted to him? Because she said he was like a brother to her. But see, are those terrible jokes?
That's right.
Well, let me...
honestly, if I wanted to kill you, I wouldn't be here right now. I just thought I needed to say that for,
No, that's
because I think they get it.
But you know.
After Halle Berry was accused of leaving the scene after getting into a car accident, when she was invited to an interview with Howie Mandel, he made a joke of a hit and run right before Halle came on. And well, she confronted him about it.
I'm this way, and she smashed right into me, but then she didn't say anything. She just left the scene.
Oh, Howie!
I do need to address that.
Yeah,
because, you know, I was so shocked to come to what's like a home and be disrespected almost to my face.
A very confusing moment for Australian actress Catherine Langford happened when Jimmy Kimmel asked her where she learned to speak proper English, which confused her because she's from Australia.
Did you learn to speak English there? Is that where, like...
It is.
Our regular English that we speak here. Is that something you learned from watching television or from friends or studying or what?
It's normal that singers can get sweaty during performances, as they have to constantly be dancing and singing. A completely crazy moment during a post-show interview with Taylor Swift happened when the interviewer suggested Taylor take a shower.
Swansea, we will see you very soon. It's nice to see you. I think you need to have a shower now.
I agree, and I'm not offended that you said that. There's a lot going on, and none of it's good here.
A funny moment at the Jimmy Fallon show happened when he was interviewing Adriana Lima and asked her to teach him some Portuguese. And well, Adriana decided to teach Jimmy to say, "I wear a bra," instead of "a pleasure to meet you."
Say it again.
Eu uso sutiã.
Sutiã.
Yes, very good.
Sutiã. Thank you, yeah. Hey, let's talk about this guy here.
English model and actress Twiggy faced an interviewer who tried to paint her as unintelligent, but it completely backfired.
Who's your favorite philosopher?
I haven't got one. I don't know any. Who's yours?
Oh, I like them all.
Who?
All your basic philosophers. Just all of them.
I don't know their names though. What are their names?
There's a host of them.
At their peak, S Club 7 was a hugely successful music group, selling over 100 million albums worldwide. However, they were reportedly severely underpaid. So much so that when an interviewer asked about their finances, their publicist had to interrupt the show.
There are rumours, I don't know how true they are, that you guys are grumpy because you haven't made a mint.
No,
Hannah,
that's not true.
are you not?
I think we're all really,
Go.
really lucky to be where we are today at our age and have the bank balances that we do have.
I'm not having that. I'm not having you asking that question. I tried to stop this and I've had to walk in here. Can you go? We're going. I'm sorry. No. Just for 5 minutes.
Okay, I'm sorry, I wasn't sorry. No, that's cool.
What do you think the score is?
Maybe we should go.
When Cara Delevingne was doing press for the movie Paper Towns, she went to a morning show who didn't seem to understand her sarcastic humor, and one of the hosts even suggested her to go take a nap. Good as
much. We figured as much.
We'll let you go then. How about that? We'll let you go take a little nap, maybe get a Red Bull. How about that?
And well, sometime after Cara Delevingne left the interview, another host said that for $5 million, she should act more excited.
You make $5 million for 6 weeks worth of work, you can pretend to talk to Good Day Sacramento with some oomph.
Quentin Tarantino is one of the most known and respected movie directors of all time. When a reporter who wasn't too keen on his movies asked him about if the violence in his movies could influence kids, he had a pretty good comeback.
Need for so much gruesome, graphic violence. Why not let us imagine
Because
a little
it's so
of it?
much fun, Jan. Get
Really?
it?
Oh, really? Okay, I'd like to see you walk down the street and get attacked by some kids who've just seen your movie.
But you saw me. See, Jan, you're all messed up because you're talking about real life.
Oh,
and I'm
I see.
talking
And kids
about
at
the
12,
movies. You got to
kids
get
at
it
12.
straight.
Asking someone to smile more is usually never a good idea. When Olympic gymnast Simone Biles was asked why she wasn't smiling at some of the compliments, she responded that smiling doesn't win you gold medals.
I was waiting for you to smile at some of the compliments. You didn't.
Smiling doesn't win you gold medals.
Okay.
A moment which an interviewer took it way too far happened at an Avengers press interview, in which Scarlett Johansson was asked about what she was wearing under her costume, something that she found offensive, and definitely made the interviewer know he was out of line.
To wear undergarments, if
You're
you will?
like the 5th person that's asked
Well, no,
that to me.
because
What is going on? Since when did people start asking each other about in interviews about their underwear?
No, inappropriate.
To ask somebody what kind of underpants they wear?
I didn't ask you what kind.
You just asked me if I was wearing any.
60-year-old reporter Sandy Ronaldo seemed to be undermining Justin Bieber's accomplishments by calling him a product of marketing, and he handled it incredibly well.
Critics will say that you are basically a product of marketing.
Okay.
That when it comes down to it, it's all the YouTube hype. You see yourself as a product of marketing hype?
I think that everything happened organically. It wasn't something that the record label was pushing. Coming from Stratford, Ontario, it basically gave others like hope. Nobody's ever came out of Stratford, Ontario and been famous or...
Wait, Lloyd Robertson has come out of Stratford, Ontario and been famous. He anchors the national news on CTV.
I'm just saying there hasn't been somebody to come out and be known worldwide.
Okay.
Do you agree on that point?
Well, you know, it's hard to say because
you think Lloyd Robinson is known in a little town in Germany?
Probably not, because he anchors the national news in Canada. So you're saying you've got international appeal. That's the point you're making?
Ma'am.
Miley Cyrus showed to have some quick wit when she made a quick comeback to Joe Rogan's comment that all dancers' performances look the same.
Do the same move. They drop down and do the splits.
That's what I think when I'm watching your shows too. You know, all the same stuff.
But
Joe Rogan did take the diss like a champ, though.
During a sit-down interview with a live audience, the host kept being condescending and passive-aggressive towards Kim Kardashian, but perhaps took it a little bit too far by pushing for her to tell how much money she made from her app.
How much money did you make from it, personally?
What?
How much?
Well, I never talk dollars.
Okay.
Cents. I never do. It's.
Well, you can talk rubles or euros. I don't know.
It surprisingly did very well for me.
In a display of double standards in Hollywood, Scarlett Johansson called out a reporter for asking about her diet, right after Robert Downey Jr. gets a deep philosophical question.
Like, how come you get like the really interesting like existential question and I get the like rabbit food question?
Megan Fox had a meteoric rise to fame after starring in the first Transformers movie. Shortly after, she had a fallout with director Michael Bay. When an interviewer claimed Michael made her, she was quick to shut it down.
Okay.
Michael Bay make you an icon. Are you aware?
I'm not aware. Are you silly? Do you ever just look at yourself in the mirror and you're like, I really did it today?